Hello, traders. This is your trader's friend. Thank you for joining me again for another video. I'm here to talk to you today about the importance of confirmation in your price action. As you can see, I got up this morning and I drew my trend line from my low to my next highest low. It shot out and it indicated to me that I was in a bullish market. I also checked my 4-hour and my daily chart. They also confirmed that we're on a bullish run. So I'm feeling good about that. I made my decision to go long on retracements. Now I saw this doji form and I saw the confirmation. I was tempted to go short, but I decided I would wait on the bullish bounce since all of the price action previously suggested that I was in a bullish market, and this was over 100 pips from the low to the high. So I decided I would take my trades on the long side. One of the things I noticed about my candles is the incredible amount of price action that was here in both of these candles, and I thought we must have had an economic report this morning because this, if you can see my mouse here, this is more of a normal kind of price action candle. But when you have long candles like this, generally it's an indication that you have news in the market or there's some kind of super fall in the Dow or super spike in the Dow, or there's something going on. So I checked my calendar and sure enough we had economic news this morning. A lot of times when you have economic news, and please note that I said a lot of times, not all the time, if you get a retracement, then a lot of times you will have a bounce back to the open or close to the low before it will bounce back off and continue on the path that you thought it would go on. But it did not do that. I was actually expecting a bounce here, but I did not get that bounce. So the next bounce expectation came here. And at that point I looked and I had a significant retracement, so I'm feeling good about getting a bounce there, but it did not happen. That's why I'm bringing you this video, because I want to remind you of how important confirmation is. If you do not get confirmation for a trade, don't take the trade in the opposite direction. Now, I did not get this bounce off of the trend line like I expected. Instead, I got a close. So what is it that I want to do when my trend line breaks? Well, first of all, I want to wait until my candle closes, because a lot of times when you breach a trend line, you'll have a bounce back up and price will oftentimes close above the trend line and continue on a bullish path. That didn't happen. So I did get a close below my trend line. One of the things you can do is you can insert an indicator, and I am using a 20 period moving average. Now this candle also broke my moving average, and since it closed below my moving average, oftentimes if you have a close below your moving average, it's going to suggest that it's time for you to be on the bearish side of the trade. So now I have two indications to say that it's time to short this market. I have a break below the trend line, and my moving average is also saying that it's time to take short trades now. I am, as you know, I'm a huge fan of trend lines, and I'm a huge fan of candlesticks and candlestick patterns and getting to know them. I think that is the point that every trader should start. I think that traders should start off learning candlesticks and candlestick patterns so that they can recognize when they have reversals in the market, so that they can either protect their capital or look for an entry. Now, I don't think that there's all to trading. Once you learn those basic fundamentals, to me they're the basic fundamentals, then you can add every indicator and oscillator in the world, because it's just further confirmation to your price action. But remember, price action is always your first indicator. Now, before I would decide to go back long, What I would like to see on a strong move up or an indication of a strong move up, I'd be looking for a couple of things, and I'm going to show you. This is not really a perfect double bottom if it continues on because we're actually live in the market. Um, but I would look for price not to revisit here unless we get a triple bottom, which is rare. But since we had a bounce off of almost that same level, I would look for price to close above, and I'll mark it for you, this mid level where we had this resistance. So a close above there would be good. That would be the second thing I would look for. The third thing I would look for is a close above the moving average. And the real winner, of course, would be a close above my trend line. Now, I brought you this video to say confirmation in your market is very important. If you were looking for a bounce to go long here like I was and you did not get it, you would not take that trade to the long side. If price closes below your trend line and below your moving average or any other confirmation indicator that you're using, then that's not the time to go long. Even once you got down here and got this confirmation, you had too many things saying that the trade was bearish. Now on the chart that I cleaned this chart up actually before I made this video. I had another trend line here going that way. So we had a very strong bearish move down, and now price was suggesting that it was time for us to go bearish. We may get a double bottom, bounce back up, and have a nice bounce to the long side. At this point, I'm not sure. We may get that. We may get a bounce here. It may hit the trend line and fall straight back down. I have no idea, but I just want to reiterate the point that confirmation in your market is very important. Look for it before you take your trades. If you do not get it, do not take your trades. Everything is about practicing, drilling, and rehearsing. You can do this. It gets easier with time. You're going to recognize more patterns. But Forex is a very tricky market. It's something that you want to do long term and for a living. Invest time educating yourself in the market. Never stop learning because your charts are always telling you something. And I see new things in the charts all the time when I go back and study. So I've seen things that I've never seen before. It happens. So you're constantly learning. But if you're going to master Forex or close to master Forex, I don't even know if mastering Forex is possible. But if you're going to get to the point that you can sit at home and trade, then you're going to have to invest in your Forex education. Thank you again for joining me for another video. I'm so glad that you're here. Enjoy your day, have some fun, and laugh a lot.